Students, uh, already I uploaded. We discussed about already that quinolines, their structure and the mechanism of action. Now we can discuss about how their resistance and pharmacokinetic parameters and adverse effects and uses. So come to the resistance. Already I said that regarding any organism getting the resistance by the mutations. So here the respective enzyme. So the where the either 1 point mutation or a 3 point mutations taken by the enzyme. So where the quinoline binding region, because of this a change in the permeability of the organism. So the quinolines not entered and they are not produces the action. So DNA garage is the primary target in E. coli. So with the single step mutants exhibiting the amino acid substitution in the A subunit of garage. So A manako cheppan already. I said already the two subunits present in a DNA garage enzyme, subunit A and subunit B. Subunit A to cut the DNA. Then after that again it will make like ligase and heal. But during the cutting, it is required one energy. That energy provided by the subunit B. Subunit B. Then if you take topoisomerase 4 is the secondary target in E. coli. So that is altered mutants expressing the high levels of resistance. So whatever it is, the organism getting the mutation, because of these mutations, antibiotics not entered into the organism or not bind to the targeted enzyme or protein. So in Staphylococcus and Streptococcus, the situation is reverse. Topoisomerase 4 is the primary target and garage is the secondary target. So in that E. coli, the primary target is topoisomerase 2, that is DNA gyrase. Topoisomerase 2 is also called as DNA gyrase. Okay, so there in that organism like that it will targeted. So these in this organism like that targeted. So here the topoisomerase is primary target. So resistance to one fluoroquinolone, particularly if of high level, generally confers the cross resistance to all other members of this class. Once one organism getting to the one fluoroquinolone, once one organism getting the resistance to the one fluoroquinolone drug, then it's remaining also getting resistance. Remaining antimicrobial, if it is not also, it is getting the resistance. So that is the resistance. Then come to the pharmacokinetics of quinolines. These are well observed, well distributed. Okay. So well distributed in vital bars, tissues plus placenta reach to the fetus also by metabolized in the liver and eliminated through renal, excreted through renal. This is common. And these are the clinical uses of quinolones. So nalidic acid is the main. It is mainly used in Bacillus coli and Bacillus proteus infections, especially urinary infections. These are not fluoroquinolones mainly used in urinary tract infections and GI tract infections. So what are the causes? Organisms Bacillus coli and Bacillus proteus. Next, pimdemic case is not only it's used treating infections of urinary tract, but also treating intestine and biliary tract infections with the sensitive bacteria. So what I said. So fluoroquinolones are extensively used treating general infections, urinary tract infections, intestinal, soft tissue infections, and bone joint abdominal respiratory. So the level we have to treat. First we can prefer the urinary, then GIT, then after that soft tissue, then after that bone and joint any abdominal infection, then after that respiratory tract infection. We can prefer Ciprofloxacin, ofloxacin are the effective for the gonococcal infection, including disseminated disease. So they are occasionally used for treatment of tuberculosis and atypical mycobacterial infections also. So these are the respiratory infections. So they are also suitable for eradication of meningococci from carriers because of these meningococcus are to produce the meningitis. So ofloxacin is effective for cambial urethritis or cervicitis. Ciprofloxacin is the second line agent for legionellosis. So levofloxacin, perfloxacin used for the treatment of upper and lower respiratory tract infections. So maximum what we have to consider here, I already said that first you can give the urinary tract infections, then after GI tract infection, then soft tissue infections, then after the bone, then after that respiratory tract infections. This is the way we can treat. Then come to the drug interactions. Ciprofloxacin and whatever the fluoroquinolones drugs, entire drugs to inhibit the cytochrome P450 enzyme. So these cytochrome P450 present in liver, it is a very, very essential for the metabolism of so many drugs. Already you studied in a biotransformation. So these cytochrome P450, it is very essential for to metabolize so many drugs in our body, so that these antibiotics to inhibit that enzyme. So because of that, so these drugs, especially these drugs, theophylline, warfarin, and cyclosporin, increases the concentration in the blood because of they are not metabolized. As it is drug, it is present, the serum concentration increases, their toxicity increases. So this is the drug interactions, especially theophylline, warfarin, and cyclosporin. Then come to the adverse effects. I said already, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, diarrhea, headache. Come to the first GIT adverse effects. First it will affected by GIT, then after that CNS effects, then skin effects. Okay, if you observe in CNS effects, headache, dizziness, insomnia, skin rashes occasionally, liver toxicities come to the GIT, and photosensitive acrylithium and p-floxacin. So fluoroquinolones may damage growing cartilage and cause arthropathy. So they are not used in the patients under 18 years of age. So the arthropathy is a reversible since fluoroquinolones are excreted in breast milk. They are contraindicated in nursing mothers. So those are the breastfeeding given to the babies. So we have to take care them because of these quinolines directly enter into the directly reach to the milk. So these when the babies when the babies are taken these milk, then automatically these adverse effects are produced. So this is the fluoroquinolines. So these are the questions regarding the fluoroquinolines. So what are quinolines? Second question is the classification of quinolines, mechanism of action of quinolines, and define positive supercoiling and negative supercoiling, and topoisomerase enzyme function. It's very, very important. So what is the main function of the topoisomerase is to inhibit the supercoil formation. That is the negative supercoil formation and positive supercoil formation. See, negative supercoil and positive supercoil formation అనేది sir ఎట్లా జరుగుతుంది sir? So how it is happening, these negative supercoiling, positive supercoiling? See, when the DNA replication process is going on, it is divided. Already you know how the DNA replication. So two DNAs are newly formed. When it is new DNA, it is formed. What happened? Already I shown video. When it is formed, the another, what is happening, another side, it form a circle. That is coiling. coiling formed. When it is coiled formed, the DNA not relaxed properly. So when the coil it is formed in the organism, in the organism, it is not divided properly. So the new DNA it will not come. When the new DNA it will not come, it will not replicate it. So it is not formed. And one more important is when the DNA not supercoiled formed, then the not is it is not formed the relaxed DNA. When the relaxed DNA it is formed, transcription not formation. There is no transcription. There is no translation. So there is no proteins for that organism. So that is the topoisomerase enzyme function. సో మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం అంటే ఆ టోపో ఐసోమర్ ఎంజైమ్ని ఇన్హిబిట్ చేయడం వలన సూపర్ కాయిల్స్ ఫామ్ అవుతాయి. సూపర్ కాయిల్ ఫామ్ అవడం వలన ట్రాన్స్క్రిప్షన్ ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ అనేవి జరగవు. ట్రాన్స్క్రిప్షన్ when it is happen when the relaxed DNA to form the transcription and translation. So when these supercoils formed, there is no formation of a transcription and a translation. So this is the important, very, very important. And adverse effects of fluoroquinolones, uses of fluoroquinolones. So these are the questions.